Hello, Michael Swain here, coming to you somewhere inside of Wells Fargo Arena here in Des Moines, Iowa. There's a lot going on here today, so hopefully I found a quiet spot. It's you, me, and some pipes here, just talking about Kansas basketball. Busy day here at the Wells Fargo Arena. There's a lot going on. There's media, there's practices. We've already done our KU media, we've already done the KU practices, and now it's time to write and talk. So let's start off with some of the news and notes, because a lot has been going on around the Kansas program over the last week, and we got to start with Bill Self. If you ask different people around the Kansas program what his status is for Thursday's game against Howard, you'll get a different answer. You ask Norm Roberts during a press conference or during a media scrum, he'll tell you that they're taking it day by day. If Bill Self wakes up and does not feel good tomorrow, then he's not going to coach. If he wakes up, feels good, I think there's a chance he could coach as well. But then if you ask a player like Jalen Wilson, hey, is Bill Self going to coach tomorrow? He said today, yeah, we expect to see him on the sideline. He's going to coach. He's been back at practice. And by all accounts, this is the same Self, right? Intense, getting on guys for various things, right, that you know he gets on his players about. But obviously his health is a priority here, right? This isn't a one last stand. You got to think about the long-term health of just Bill Self as a human here too. So I think KU is definitely taking that into consideration. They're not going to rush him back and put him at any sort of risk, I believe at least, that would have long-term effects. Now, there's also Kevin McCullough and Grady Dick and their injury statuses. Obviously, McCullough did not play against Texas in the Big 12 tournament title game due to back spasms. Well, when I talked to him in the locker room earlier today, he told me the back spasms are gone. They played him for about a week or so. They started to pop up right before the Texas game. He played through it then, played through it in 2 games in Kansas City, didn't go against Texas. Seems like that rest really did help him. He's going in, he says he feels a lot better. Grady Dick too got landed on in about the first 30 seconds or so of that Texas Big 12 tournament title game. If you go in and watch, I think it's maybe the second possession, there's a loose ball, he dives for it. Tyrese Hunter dives on his back, and I guess that landed weird on it and he tweaked it, but now he's feeling better. According to Norm Roberts, everyone has practiced, and now it's time for Kansas to try and defend its national title. Now, if you look at the point spreads, right, if you're in Las Vegas, we're here in Iowa, sports gambling is legal here, so you can talk about it. KU has, I think, the biggest point spread between a number 1 seed and a number 16 seed in the NCAA tournament. We're 5 years removed from UMBC versus Virginia, so it's worth keeping in mind that a 16 has beat a 1 before, but this does not seem like the type of opportunity that will happen. You look at Howard, they're a bigger team. They've got 2 guys that are about 6'9" or larger that they're going to start. They got another 6'6" wing, but their coach, Kenneth Blankeny, talked about the guard matchup between the 2 starting point guards, right, for Howard and for KU. It sounds like they're very similar, where both guys really are this, this straw that stirs the drink. That's the right saying for both their teams. So for me, going into this matchup, I think that's what I'll be looking for. Who's the point guard that comes out on top? Obviously, Juwan Harris, Big 12 Defensive Player of the Year, someone that probably should have been on some of the all Big 12 teams but wasn't. That's going to be a fascinating matchup. And I think overall, this is a game where for KU, it's a can you get up early? Can you get Jalen Wilson some rest? Juwan Harris some rest? Because you're either going to play a super athletic Arkansas team. I walked by them about 30 minutes ago, 45 minutes ago. They're huge, super athletic, a little on the younger side. Then if Illinois wins against Arkansas, then KU will take on an Illinois team that's pretty big and pretty experienced. So 2 different contrasts, but I think for KU, the goal is obviously going to be to win, but can they get up early enough to where Jalen Wilson and some of those key guys don't have to play 35 to 38 minutes? Obviously, we've got plenty of coverage up on fog.net, so make sure you're reading that. A cool story about Howard's coach, Kenny Blankeny, and Jalen Wilson. They worked together at the NBA Combine. Got a story coming out also about Grady Dick's NIL deal with Beats and how he helped use that deal to get the rest of the team some cool gear. So, as always, stay tuned to fog.net. Got plenty of coverage up there on KU basketball.